Hi guys, Chris here at Purely Outdoors, and today we're reviewing a fantastic couples drive-away awning. So this is the brand new version of the Vango Kela Pro. So it's been a very well loved awning now for a number of years. It's their next generation version of it, and they've really leveled up their game on this one. So we'll talk through what's changed and what the key sort of exterior and interior features for you to know about. But to start with, we'll talk about what sort of vehicles the Kela can fit. So for the first time in a number of years, we see this mid-height come in from Vango. So the Kela's always been sort of aimed at the low end of the market. So your camper vans from 180 to 210, so your T5 Transporters or your Ford Transit Customs, or at the tall end. So then they've brought out the tall version for coach-built motorhomes, but they've never really had that mid-height in there. And it's always been a little bit of a weakness of this model, that there's been a lot of customers at that mid-range, especially with those type of vehicles becoming more popular, such as your Ducatos and your Sprinters, wanting this Kela awning, but unfortunately it not being able to fit their van. Vango have addressed that, and now we see a much wider spectrum of vehicles being able to fit. So all the way from 180 in height all the way up to 295, so massive spectrum, which is great. And another key feature that Vango have changed this year is how they've sort of tailored their tunnel section. So as you can see on this drive-away, we've got the main body of the awning, then we've got the tunnel section in here. And what Vango have looked at is at each height range, so the low, the mid and the tall, what are the most popular vehicles at each of those ranges. So if we take the low end, for instance, so they'd definitely be looking at that VW Transporter being one of the most popular vehicles. They've really sort of how they've cut the fabric and how they've positioned the tunnel for it to really sort of suit those most popular vehicles at those height ranges. So really nice feature. It means that you're not getting an abundance of fabric there, so it's a lot more taut in terms of the tunnel area. It just makes for a nicer pitched awning. In terms of sort of other key dimensions to be aware of, so Kela, they've kept the same sort of dimensions to the awning. So we see a really nice spacious tunnel section. So you've got 1.35 meters of depth on the tunnel. We then see 2.35 meters by 3.1 meters in terms of the living space dimension. So yes, it's aimed at the couples market and the solo tourers, but it's actually a really nice spacious environment, especially if it's going to be used as that extra space outside of the van for dining, for storage, even sleeping. You have got a lot of space in there for more of that couple style awning. So as you can see, it's forward facing as well, so a little bit different to other models in the range. A lot of the sort of larger Vango driveaways we see running parallel with the vehicle, but I really like that this one's that nice forward facing style, very similar to the Pharos as well in the Vango range. Right, we'll get on to the key exterior features now. So fabric to begin with. So this is the brand new Sentinel Eco Pro fabric from Vango. So loads to talk about on this, but what I love is they've kept a really high quality fabric, pretty much the best in class in terms of thickness and waterproofing, but they've got that eco aspect woven into the fabric. So in terms of the thickness, we see a 420 denier fabric. So again, when you look at competitors on the market, this is pretty much the market leader in terms of denier, in terms of thickness. So you know it's going to be really hard wearing and have all that longevity that you want from a drive-away. In terms of waterproofing, you've got 6,000 mil hydrostatic head. So again, it's really going to last. It's going to be absolutely fine in all those heavy rainfalls, heavy sort of storms. It's going to be absolutely fine. It's complemented with storm straps as well. So again, that extra peace of mind when you're in those wetter, stormier weathers, it's going to be really well equipped for that. In terms of the colour lock aspect, so very important on awnings that the manufacturers really look at that colour lock perspective. So you want that colour retention in your awning. You want it to look crisper for longer. And Vango's colour lock retention really helps with that process. And then from an eco perspective, so we mentioned it's the Sentinel Eco Pro fabric. What Vango brought into their sort of production process is they've looked at single-use plastics such as water bottles. What they do is they break down that plastic into shards, and then they weave those shards into the actual fabric material. So not only are you getting that really good performing fabric, but you're also getting that sustainability aspect to it as well. So really clever fabric, and that's just complemented by the Airbeam system. So Vango have been real pioneers in that sort of pole-free tent and awning now for the last decade, and we see this airspeed valve system in the Kela and other models in the range, and it's just a really high performance Airbeam system. So you can get it inflated and deflated really nice and easily with the manual hand pump that comes included. or you can upgrade it to the electric Zephyr pump if you wish. But what we see is a really good Airbeam system just to complement that fabric as well. Some other key changes to note as well, which I really like, is this rain safe side door. So as you can see, it's this eyebrow canopy with your pole in here, so the only pole on the actual awning, but it gives you this really nice functional doorway that if it is raining, it's going to give you that nice cover there, and it's sort of complemented with this really large mesh doorway as well, so great for ventilation in the summer. And while we're on that subject, Vango really do push the limits with ventilation, which is great. We know how important it is, especially in those summer months, to let that air flow in and out without the bugs getting in. You've got a huge mesh panel here, and you've also got a high level vent as well, just above this doorway at the front as well. So loads of ventilation. Some other key points that I really like on the Kela is you've got these lovely side windows. These have got the full sort of toggle curtains on the side window. So if you want that privacy, you've got the ability to do that. And you've also got these lovely, huge diamond clear windows running down this left-hand side, complemented with the skylights. It's just going to get loads of light into the awning. And for these main windows, the curtains, again, being on a pro model like this Kela, they're zip up curtains as opposed to toggle up, so really quick and easy to get that one secured up as and when you need to. In terms of the main doorway that you can see here, so loads of different options on this. This can be a fully mesh screened, so again, just adds to that ventilation. You've got a full mesh panel here if you want it. Can be rolled up to make it a nice big large doorway. Or if the conditions are coming in and you want to still have that view out of the awning, but you want to protect yourself against the rain, you can have a full clear window to zip this panel up completely. So lovely options on the doorway. You've also got Vango's tension band system in the Kela as well. So it's a really nice sort of internal guy system. So if those conditions are worsening, the wind's picking up, not only have you got 4 storm strap points around the Kela, you've also got this internal guy system that really helps just center the awning in those windy conditions. Some other key sort of accessories that you might want to purchase alongside the Kela, you can get the footprint, which sits underneath this Sony ground sheet here. That really acts as a blueprint to how you can pitch the awning, so it helps you map out where you want to position it on your van. Also helps with the cleaning process at the end of the holiday. You're only having to clean that footprint as opposed to the underside of the awning. And then you can purchase a made-to-measure carpet as well that fits just really nicely in this main living space. Just makes it feel really nice and homely. Some other key points to note is we've got clip-in points for a bedroom inner as well. So if this awning is going to be used for a sleeping area at night, you can simply clip that in as and when you need it. And another key aspect, you've got their SkyTrack system on each of the Airbeams. So if you want to hang up lights or lanterns or flexi lighting from Vango, you've got the options to dot that around the awning as well. So really nice sort of setup in this main living space, and a really functional space. And one of my favorite features is you've got these skylights above and these side windows. It's really important just to make it a nice airy space. So I think this has hopefully summed up the sort of key exterior and interior features now, guys. I think what we'll just do before we wrap up is maybe talk about some other models on the market from Vango and from some other brands that might be worth checking out as well if you are considering this awning. So if we look at the Vango range, the Kela is available in a technical cotton version. So if you're a couple and you're looking at touring across Europe, especially Southern Europe, where we see those hotter climates, having a technical fabric in this same style is definitely worth checking out. You're getting a more breathable fabric than polyester. So we'll be sharing the link below on that awning as well. It's in stock here at Purely Outdoors. Some other key models in the Vango range that I think are definitely worth checking out. If you like the sort of Vango feel, the Airbeam system, the fabric, but maybe you're looking at that slightly lower price point, I'd definitely check out the Pharos. So it's a slightly more compact version of the Kela. It comes in 150 denier fabric, so it's slightly more lightweight, smaller pack size, and definitely a very popular model that we've seen in previous years, and I'm sure it will be this season as well. Another key comparison model as well is the Outdoor Revolution Move Light T2. So again, we see that awning at the 3 different height ranges. Very similar in terms of design, so it's a forward-facing awning like this, and very similar in terms of the actual dimensions. That one is a thinner fabric. It's 240 denier, so not as thick, so you're saving a little bit on weight from that perspective as well. Hopefully that sort of summed up the key comparatives, guys, but I think if you are really sort of looking at, you know, either a camper van or a motorhome that's looking to tour across the UK or Europe, you want a really good functional space for storage, for dining, even just for sitting with a drink at night. It really gives you that good amount of space, but also you're maintaining, you know, a good pack size on this. It's not too large, fits nicely in the van, and it's one with the Airbeam system you can get inflated and deflated really quick and easy. So definitely a great model. It's been a real bestseller from Vango in previous years. I'm sure it will continue to be that way this season. Hopefully that's summed everything up, guys. If you've got any questions, any other sort of technical questions you've got on the Kela, drop them in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching.